This screencast is just going to give you a basic introduction to the inspector and how to use it in conjunction with event buttons and the coding form. The first thing we want to do before using the inspector is make sure we're in design mode. Remember, design mode is the mode that you need to be in on the coding form whenever you change some of the properties of the buttons. And that's exactly what the inspector is meant to do. So to open the inspector, I can just click on this button here. And that opens the inspector. I can click on it again and it closes. If the inspector is open, I can also close it here by just clicking on the red circle. And another nice way to open and close it is by using the shortcut key on the keyboard, which is Option, Command, and I. You can see that opens it as well as closes it. Option, Command, I again. So the inspector shows you the properties of the object that's selected in the coding form. In this case, when I open it, nothing's selected. So if I want to see the properties of, let's say, this Duke event button, if I single click on it, now I can see the properties of the event. And there's two different halves to the inspector. The first half here shows the event name and some of the temporal or coding elements of the event. And the second half here shows more of the aesthetics, the way the button or event or object appears on the coding form, such as font size, color, things like that. So we're looking at the properties of this Duke offensive event. If I single click in the background here on the coding form itself, you can see that it shows me the properties of the coding form, and really the only thing that I can change about the coding form is the color. So if I click here, then I can choose a color from this crayon box and you can see the background color changing there, or this wheel is just a different option of kind of seeing different color options as well. So for now I'm just going to leave it on white, and I can close that. And notice how when I want to see the properties of this event button, I don't need to close and reopen the inspector each time. I can just single click on the next object, in this case the event, and the inspector updates quickly. The inspector will also show you properties of multiple buttons or events or objects at the same time. So for example, if I wanted to select all of these player buttons, I could just click and drag over them. And then when I let go, the inspector shows me only the properties that I'm allowed to change for multiple events at the same time. So in this case, lead and lag time, and in terms of the appearance, I can change a lot of things like all of the font at the same time, color of the font, things like that. So we'll have more specific screencasts to go over all of the specific functionality of the inspector, but hopefully this gives you a good overview of how it functions with the coding form. Thanks for watching.